Hello, and welcome to Pandering Hour.
We're bringing it back. Deal with it. That scream always makes me laugh. I'm not endorsed by Jean. This is not a good idea. Don't do this. Never do this. Never, ever. This is way better. Data White is stupid. Where do I find the hose? For instance, one partner might play baby and put on a diaper. Ugh. Top 10 killer cucks. If you like putting stuff in your butt, that is your right. Put it in there. Put more in there. As much as it takes. And don't worry about straight or gay. It's not about that. It's about your own satisfaction. For you. For us, it's you're gay. But hello, and welcome to Pandering Hour. I got a bone to pick with you guys. Okay, so here's the thing. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all. The numbers are going up. The numbers are going up, and it's exciting. I got like 100 listens since last week, just on like the audio version, which is big because the audio version doesn't do so well. The video version has been going up faster and faster, but that's not here or there. The bone I have to pick, and we're going to talk about Laos, okay? Reddit. You people are fucking mean. I've never heard criticism that actually hurt my feelings. That's not true. But from online, never. Never. Never, 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 never. You guys were so fucking mean, and I'm putting Bulgaria on blast. I don't give a shit. Let's see. Hold on. We're going in. We're going in. Because you guys were mean to me. You guys were so mean to me. Okay. No, that's the podcast about Laos. Oh, also, thank you, Laos. Thank you, Laos. The people of Laos have been so kind to me. The people of Palau, so kind. The Micronesian people, I love you. You're fantastic. You've always been good to me. The Bulgarians can go fuck themselves, okay? They've been so cruel. Hold on. So I just post my episode. I did a podcast episode about Bulgaria, and I'm interested in meeting Bulgarians. Here's a link to some clips of the podcast I did. And I want to see the full discussion. 17 comments. You people are so mean. No one cares. 6 likes. And I said, thanks. Boring, weak, understandable. So this is what brain rot looks like. That's the way I edit. I meant you, not your editing. Oh, great. I trying so hard to be positive. Trying so hard not to let that shit get to me, but it did. I can see my face turning red. Ooh. Where exactly is Easy Letterhead was nice. A lot of people, when I responded to them, they were kind in turn, and they were like, "Oh, now I see where you're coming from, and I get why this is what came out to be the clips." Objectively, this is a terrible video, but this is how we start, learn, and grow. Isn't that nice of him? It hurts, but it's nice of him. Guess the formula is let's react to random things out of context. Would it be better? Yeah. Okay, maybe they weren't so mean. But it was just kind of 0 likes. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys. I probably have negative likes. What else? I did so much hard just... Yesterday I was just like... right in my phone the whole time at work, which is not good. Someone said don't quit your day job. Did they take that down for bullying? I feel like there were meaner comments and I'm missing them. But thank you, Bulgaria. Thank you, Bulgaria, for what feels like a warm welcome. Why is my name Pan? That's weird. Thank you, Bulgaria, for being so kind to me. And some of you were very mean, but a lot of you kind of came my way more than, and I came your way. I'm taking in the criticism, and I'm going to change. So thank you, Bulgaria. I appreciate that. I appreciate you jumping me into this gang, and it hurt. It hurt. It hurt. But thank you. Now, today on Pandering Hour, we are going to be discussing the country of Laos, and I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. How to pronounce Laos?
Laos.
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 Laos. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to... I don't know if it was like Laos or Laos or something like that. I didn't want to fuck it up. So we're just gonna go... I need to get back into Reddit. So I'm doing this thing where I reach out to the country that we're going to be talking about ahead of time. So I reached out to Laos 2 days ago, and I got a good amount of pings, 13 comments. Just like bing, 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 bing. Maybe visit first. Listen, you fuckers. I'm poor. Okay? If you want me to visit, I'll totally visit. I'll definitely revisit this. I've done multiple episodes on countries, but like you can't just be like, you know, fly here, stay for a month, become ingratiated into society, change your citizenship to Laos, and then you can talk about us. I'm talking about you, okay? I'm going to talk about you, okay? And also, places like Africa, you got to get a bunch of shots. You expect me to put myself through all that as an American? We hate inconvenience. Brown background. It would have been embarrassing if anyone outside of Laos was actually going to see it. Okay. Let's see. This guy, Yan Harbin Ifsigi. Yan Harbin Ifsigi said he wants to see the podcast. I appreciate him. I love you, Yan. You're good. You're a good guy. But this guy, knower of expat things. Oh, so this guy probably knows a shitload. By the way, I do reach out to people for more information, but you know, there is a history of Lanshang. So let's get into I'm opening up tabs. The annexation of Isan. The Plain of Jars. The Secret War. I might have to add Laos to that. Laos, the Secret War. Sorry. The CIA bombing campaign. And allegations of... There's so many things. There are so many things. I'm going to go to Laos news. Laos. There are a lot of things. Current event, look at the Golden Triangle and the Scam Call Center. The Golden Triangle. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get to all this stuff. Illegal wildlife and drug trade. King Roman Group and King's Roman? This guy is very... He's like, how about you look into the GDP over the last 20 years? That stuff is important, but this is not a history podcast. This is a, hey, I'm just gonna crash course. We're gonna figure this out. You know, this is kind of goofy. I want to be goofy. Comedian here. Although apparently I'm not funny according to Bulgarians. I'm not bitter about it. I'm not bitter about it. of course, people online are gonna hate me. I'm ready to accept that. This was just my big first dose. I'll bitch about it less in the future. Or if you want to be critical, you could do a whole episode about how to squander the opportunities of hosting Ashawn with a pearly. What is this? I don't even understand what this is. Okay. It looks like China's Belt and Road, allegation of depth trade diplomacy, impact on multinationals like Nestle. Oh, that's a good one. Because I know Nestle's evil. That I'm very interested in. What is this? It took me to like a whole different website. Okay, so I have my 5 tabs that I normally open up, plus like another 10. So thank you again, knower of expat things, for helping me out on this. I mean, why don't I start with him, right? Okay. I mean, you guys, I should listen to you guys. I'm beholden to you guys like a politician is beholden to its constituents, and by that I mean I'm keeping all the money. The Lanshang Kingdom was founded by Fa Ngum in the early 14th century. I'm going to butcher these names. The grandson of King Mong Sua, Fa Ngum became the conqueror by taking over several tribes and city-states to form his kingdom. Lanshang lasted for over 300 years before his enemies overtook it due to its landlocked nature. Let me get Laos on a map. So what's nearby? You got Vietnam, and the Vietnamese do not fuck around. Cambodia, they don't. Oh, I bet they eat spiders here too. Thailand, yeah, the Taiwanese? No, that's Taiwan. They're just Thai. The Thai will fuck these guys up. Myanmar, you could take them, but they have the British backing them up. Kunming, oh, that's China. Oh, you're right next to China. Oh. Yeah, good luck, dude. Yeah. I mean, just try it. Very interesting. Okay. So, Laos. I just want to get a couple of pictures of Laos, just to like see. Looks a little mountainous. Looks nice. Kind of looks like if you've ever seen pictures of New Orleans, it reminds me a little bit of that, but less crowded. Do they have French influence? I'm pretty good at this. French influence on Laos? French cuisine, especially the capital, where it gets. There you go! Bam! I saw it. I fucking saw it, dude. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, a lot of really pretty places. I don't know what that is. What is this? It's like a big gold bar. Someone trying to be a photographer and your subject is blurry. I mean, it does look beautiful. It also kind of reminds me of California. Just like the way the sky is. There's something about it. Maybe it's the pollution. Is there a lot of pollution in Laos? I mean, you're next to China. So I would imagine there's a ton. Ooh. 2.3 times above the recommended limit. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Laos. When you're that close to China, because China doesn't really care about pollution, and my someone I work with, they worked in South Korea. They were stationed there because they were in the military, and they would say that there would be certain times during the year when the sky would turn green because of all the pollution from China getting blown down from winds to South Korea. And I'm sure Japan also has problems with that, and I'm sure Sure, a lot of people have problems with that, but it's kind of hard to tell China what to do. I mean, they're second to the U.S., and the U.S. doesn't listen to anybody, like anybody at all. Plus, it's a great going against the Chinese government is a great way to either get killed or get rich. Sorry. Let's go back to where was I? History of the Lanshang Kingdom. I just want to see if there's any pictures about it. That must be Lanshang. Oh yeah, the white elephants. Okay, so you guys got that too, just like Burma. There's a video game about it? Okay. Cultural, then Empire of Ancient Laos. Who are the origins? No. Culture and beliefs. Let's go into that. Lanshang had a lot of ethnic diversity due to ethnic migrations and trade. There were many hill tribe peoples, some of who were related to Thai groups, and many were from other parts of China. Because of the complicated ethnic diversity of the time, the structure of society was kept simple compared to other cultures nearby. The society was divided into a few categories. There was a secular authority of those in the royal family, along with those with the religious order, followed by the nobles. Sounds a little bit like England, like early England. The final group was peasantry, which included general laborers, farmers, artisans, and merchants. Very simple kind of governance. Those outside the system, but considered above all, were the... Hello? Do I have ads on this? Are you guys hearing that shit? I'm not in any Discords or anything. Oh, that's fucking creepy. Oh, there is one right there. Those outside the system, but considered above all, were the Sang Tha, or the clergy. Images. Oh, these guys. Let's watch a video really quick.
The word Sangha is used
Sangha.
in a variety of ways, like mindfulness is used in a variety of ways. Can be described as a Sangha. It's a unified group. So some people take exception to the use of lay people using the word Sangha to describe their groups, but to me it seems fair enough.
There are so many British dudes who end up becoming monks. Why is that? What is it about England that's so terrible that makes these guys be like, I gotta get out of here? Plus, aren't white guys more, because there's less of them, I'm not saying they are, but aren't they found more attractive in foreign countries? Are white men found to be more attractive? Reddit's gonna carve me up about my spelling. In Laos. Asian women have always been more attractive than white women because of... that's great. Why are so many white men obsessed with Asian women? Because they're superior? It's not racial, it's cultural. Most Asian women are from Asia. The culture often results in women that are far easier to get along with than what North America produces. I mean... Sorry. For some men it's a fetish, but I would think for most it's a difference of culture. They make better partners. I have a lot of friends from the Philippines, and I adore how the ladies behave. They are outspoken and strong, but still feminine, very attractive qualities. They aren't cantankerous bitches. Alright. This is the reverse of what I wanted. Are Asians attracted to white guys? There we go. I don't want to see this. I don't want to log in. Oh. Wait, love in Laos? Here we go. Courtship has its rules and customs in all countries, and it helps to be aware of unforeseen cultural expectations. Here are some of the ground rules to keep in mind in Laos. Waterfronts are made for romance. Okay. The Lao, generally speaking, are flirtatious a lot. Sexual innuendo and proposition-fueled banter form a central aspect of social integration in a country where white skin and straight noses are often seen as desirable traits. Aha! Oh yeah, that's a big thing. There are a lot of products in Asian countries and African countries that you put on your skin to whiten it up, which over 1,000 years is how you get people like me, white as hell. Weight is not, obviously it's not just from the product, but weight is not a sensitive issue here. If people start joking about yours, don't take offense. Unfortunately, many people in Laos are less forgiving of skin tone than weight. Dark skin is traditionally seen as an indicator of poverty and considered by some as undesirable. Most of all, cosmetics containing whitening cream and Lao people avoid the sun as much as possible. If someone makes a derogatory remark about your skin color, it can sting. Try not to take it personally and bear in mind that you're in a very homogenous culture with very specific ideals of beauty. Okay, no public displays of affection. It is said that the white elephants were prized, by ancient Southeast Asian kingdoms, both for their rarity and their beauty. A white elephant is sometimes a term used by Lao men for European beauty. That's hilarious. They're calling us white elephants? That's awesome. Oh, they're like, oh, I can't do the accent, but that is hilarious. Just imagining calling a girl, you are my white elephant. I adore you, my white elephant. She's like, stop it. Big old cheeks. Stop. Okay. That's amazing. I love that. These just see a big old white woman from across the street. You're like, Langchang was also in the century for trade, growth and wealthy, grafting gold, silver, weaving, and silk production, as well as rice and forest timber were high demand in the area. The Theravada branch of Buddhism was the state religion in the Langchang, beginning in 1527, with King, Photisarath. Basing it on the monk thing, I think that's Photisara, though it had started back in the beginning of the Fa Ngum. Even in local villages and towns, much of the people's daily lives revolved around the way or the local temple. These were known as centers of learning, and all the males had spent at least a little bit of their time in religious contemplation as a novice or a monk. The history of Langchang Kingdom. Langchang Kingdom, or Langchang Empire, was one... blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I'm trying to find something... Dude, Men's Warehouse. Take it easy with all the naked dudes. This is making me look weird. Okay. This is cool, but I got a lot of stuff to go to, so let's move on. Laos. Annexation of Isan. Isan was a part of the Laos Kingdom and the Vietnamese and the Champa Sak for several centuries. When the Siamese defeated the Vietnamese Kingdom in 1827, Isan became a political no man's land for as far as who owned it. At some point around the 1900s, Isan became formally recognized as a part of Siam/Thailand. Okay. So it's not... Oh, so it's no longer a part of Laos. I thought annexation was when we take something in. Following the separation of Isan from the historical Laos Kingdom, Laotian Kingdom, its integration into the Thai nation state and the central government's policy of Thaification, they have developed a distinct regional identity that differs from both Laotians of Laos and Thais of central Thailand. Okay. So where is that on the map? Oh yeah, there's Vietnamese right there. What's it called again? Isan. It's this whole southern part. By the way, I kind of want to look at the capital and just like see what Laos looks like. Capital of Laos. Oh, it's Vietnamese, or however you say it. Their capital's right on the border? Is that wise? Maybe this is where all the trade is done. So what's with all these gold temples, and are they actually gold? Laos and gold. Is Laos rich in gold mining? According to AIF, gold and gold reserves in Laos stands at 500 to 600 tons, and there are 4 major gold mines, more than 30 small mines, with a total production of more than 40 tons a year. The main mines are Sepon, blah, blah, blah. Didn't that guy... Are you guys... What's this guy's name? If you ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki. No. He buys gold mine? He bought a gold mine in Utah. That's very, very interesting. Okay. Just some food for thought. Robert Kiyosaki, he writes a lot of finance books, and when I was getting into like learning about finance and how to invest and stuff like that, he came up when I was looking into, gold, money, like whether or not I should have American dollar on hand rather than investing it in a company where its stock could rise or fall, and should I buy silver, gold, precious metals, and stuff like that, is when he mentioned that he found a silver mine in Argentina, a Yamana Gold, bought it from me. He owns tons of gold and silver, and he evidently bought a gold mine in Utah. Oh, the Chinese stole his gold mines, evidently. Interesting. Okay. Just something to think about. Because I didn't get the information I wanted about Laos. The annexation of Isan. So, the guy from Reddit didn't say much about this. Until when? Until the 1900s? So what's the big deal about this? Is this like the Mississippi Purchase? Or the Louisiana Purchase? The Mississippi Purchase? Okay, fascinating history. Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Our internet bill went up?
Looks like you need Verizon home.
Blah, blah, blah. Ads. I'm getting there.
So, linguistic and historical time in the Mon, Khmer and Lao.
Oh, I know someone who's Hmong.
The region was part of the Khmer Empire and later became
subscribe into this
So this guy's walking around in his backyard?
video. It is Isan culture and the rest of Thailand.
Alright, we're moving
strong.
on. The Plain of Jars in Laos. What the hell? What is this? Megalithic jar sites. The Plain of Jars is located on a plateau in central Laos, and it gets its name from 2,100 tubular-shaped megalithic stone jars used for funerary practices in the Iron Age. This serial property of 15 components contains large carved stone jars, stone discs, secondary burials, tombstones, quarries, and funeral objects dating back to 500 BCE, 500 CE. So it's around, what, 2,500 years old? The jar and associated elements are the most prominent evidence of the Iron Age civilization that made and used them until it disappeared around 500 CE. Huh. I don't think I'm going to get a good answer for this, but what happened globally 2,500 years ago? How about 500 BC? Signifies the end of the Nordic Bronze Age civilization, and Oscar... Maybe I should do... maybe like global weather? Because I'm thinking that maybe there was like a flood. Maybe there was... Oh, wait. No. Okay. If nothing popped up, we're just going to move on. Authenticity. The authenticity of the cereal property is based on form, design, materials, location of these megalithic jars. Any speculation on what they were used for? Other than just, like, what culture was connected to it? Large number of wide distribution within the province of Shenkang, I'm going to say, is remarkable, and the serial property of 15 components, yeah. But what else? I mean, that is huge. What did they use to make? Oh, maybe I could find Laos BCE weapons. Interesting. This was what was going on in Laos? Ancient Roman weapons? So the Roman influence actually made it over. That's very interesting. Man, it really sucks that China is the way it is, because I feel like there is so many like really cool archaeology things that are over there that are just completely out of... We will never be able to get in touch with them and share culture until this whole animosity thing is over. The Sword of Goijian? Cool. I mean, that's beautiful. Okay. Following Belgian archaeologist Julie van den Berg around Laos' remote Chengkuang province, we are inspecting giant ancient vessels which are scattered throughout rice paddies, forests, and hilltops. Mouth is dry. At more than 60 sites across what is known as the Plain of Jars. Archaeologists think that jars were mortuary containers, perhaps 20,000 years old, but no one knows for sure their precise age, who built them, or why. They are swathed in mystery and surrounded by unexploded bombs. What? Why? Oh, it was one of the heavily bombed places on Earth. What happened then? I could have just kept reading. I was like, I'm eager to Google something else. Let me zoom in. The United States dumped 4 billion pounds of bombs on the country in a secret war against Pathet, Lao, and northern Vietnamese communists. Up to a third of them never exploded, and they litter the land today, which, while generally safe to tread upon, buried UXO, unexploded ordnance, can detonate when a erratic fuse is inadvertently triggered. The earth around here is dangerous. The farmers plowing fields, children staking buffalo out to graze, and to archaeologists. The jars are huge, up to 9 feet tall. The largest weighing 14 tons. Most are carved out of sandstone, others granite, conglomerate, or calcified coral. Some are round, others angular, and a few have discs that appear to be lids. Tools and human remains have found inside the jars suggest their use to manufacture span centuries. The bulk of material dates from 500 BC to 800 AD. The additional carbon dates are expected this summer. Okay. I guess that translates perfectly into the... where was it? The Secret War? Oh, French. Ooh, I gotta do French food. I forgot about that. Or Laos food. Okay. Why is Laos called the Secret War? It was called the Secret War. It wasn't called the Secret War for nothing. The Johnson and Nixon administrations each oversaw U.S. military operations in Laos, technically a neutral country, without informing Congress of the full scale of American involvement. Okay. So let's see. That's hilarious. New York City, 13,000 miles. 60 years ago today. When is that? When was this published? Great, doesn't say. Nikita Khrushchev and John F. Kennedy began a historic meeting. The small South Asian country of Laos became embroiled in a civil war that quickly turned into a Cold War battleground. Soviet-backed communist insurgents and the U.S.-backed monarchical government, CIA-trained guerrilla units, and neutralist militias vied for control in an increasingly blood conflict that the United States saw as an inseparable from the contest of power in Vietnam and Cambodia. Wary of the risk of further escalation, the United States, the Soviet Union, various Lao factions, and others agreed to a policy of neutrality and non-interference, but it wasn't to last. While each side blames the other for breaking the agreement first, one side is clear. As soon as neutrality no longer suited its Cold War interests, the United States showed no hesitation in launching headlong into a catastrophic military intervention, one that would leave the people of Laos suffering to this day. Okay. Okay, so it was a Cold War battleground. Understood. Let's see some pictures. Oh man, that guy's fucked. Oh, poor guy. It's still happening today, huh? Oh, I'm guessing she looks for bombs. Yeah. She also finds, detonates, and one by one works to destroy the 80 million unexploded American bombs that litter Laos. Good for her. Good for her. Okay, next thing. I do want to get into the news. The new Opium War. Oh. What did the CIA do in Laos? For 13 years, the CIA paramilitary officers from what is now called the Special Activity Center directed native forces against North Vietnamese forces to a standstill. The CIA particularly organized the Hmong people to fight against the North Vietnamese-backed Pathet Lao. The Pathet Lao were communists in Laos. The CIA Contra crack cocaine controversy. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, I'm not reading all this shit. Okay, here we go. As a PhD candidate in the Southeast Asian history at Yale University, Alfred McCoy, testifying before the United States Senate Committee on Appropriations Foreign Operations Subcommittee on June 2nd, 1972, accused American officials of condoning and even cooperating with corrupt elements in Southeast Asia's illegal drug trade out of political and military considerations. One of its major... Okay, hold on. So, all throughout, like, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the U.S. is interfering in Asian countries which have a lot of opium. So does the Middle East. I'm not saying that. But when did America start producing opiates? What hold on. So we've been addicted to opium since the 1800s. How do I make this go away? There we go. 1910s, 1920s, Heroin Act. Let's say pharmaceutical opiates. Bayer began. Bayer's huge. Isn't that like a huge company? How old is Bayer? In the 1960s, medicinal and recreational drug use in the United States started to become a major security issue. A rise in counterculture movement for recreational drug use led to fears of drug epidemic. Despite survey findings drug consumption was relatively rare, a 1969 Gallup poll found that 48% of respondents believed drug use was a serious problem in their communities. I mean, it still is today. But the same survey revealed only 4% of American adults had tried cannabis. As a result, in 1970, Congress passed the Controlled Substance Act, which created 5 schedules within which to regulate different drugs. But when did the pharmacies start getting involved? The war on drugs, after a brief pause under the Carter administration, continued again in 1980s as the crack cocaine epidemic began to sweep around the nation. Fears of this epidemic prompted newly elected President Ronald Reagan to reinforce and expand many of Nixon's anti-drug policies, arguing that drug use was a repudiation of everything America is. His administration's most notable piece of anti-drug legislation was the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which granted $1.7 billion to law enforcement to fight the drug war and established further mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses. Much of this legislation was racially discriminatory. Okay. The Clintons! There we go! Ugh, I hate that my brain works this way now because my brother thinks the earth is flat. And I'm not trying to blame him for putting this stuff in my head. I've watched a couple War Mode episodes. I get it. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I don't like the government. I just don't like it whenever I see the Clintons' name. I just kind of go, there it is. Okay. So $1.7 billion in 1986. What is that today? Sorry, I forgot the amount already. 1.7 billion USD in 1988, 86. To today. So that's 1,000, a million, a billion, right? That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, calculate. What is that? 4.8 billion. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Now, how can I find proof of corruption? Well, New York. What? Nah, I can't think of anything at the top of my head. Our shrug sentencing continued into the 1990s. President Bill Clinton was elected after running a tough on crime platform, and his 1994 administration passed the crime bill. His $30 billion piece of legislation that funded 125,000 new state prison cells mandated life sentences via 3-strike laws, and added 60 new crimes worthy of the death penalty between 1980 and 1997. The number of people locked up for nonviolent, drug-related crimes rose from 50,000 to 400,000. Now, a lot of that ended up being, who's to say where's the chicken and where's the egg? But people like Kamala Harris, let me see, Kamala Harris, prison labor. Yeah. How Kamala Harris fought to keep nonviolent prisoners locked up. So, let me find work. Maybe it's labor is the word I'm looking for. So what I have learned is that, ordered to reduce the population of California's overcrowded prison, lawyers from then California Attorney General Kamala Harris's office made the case that some nonviolent offenders needed to stay incarcerated, or else the prison system would lose a source of cheap labor. In 2011, the Supreme Court ruled in Brown versus Plata that California's prisons were so overcrowded that they violated the constitutional prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment. 3 years later, in early 2014, the state was ordered to allow nonviolent second-time offenders who have served half of their sentence to be eligible for parole. By September 2014, plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit were back in court, accusing California of slow-walking the process, which lawyers for Harris's office denied. So, who's to say that all this cheap labor didn't end up in additional revenue? So imagine, because labor is right now a huge expense. As someone who, for my job, reviews budgets, I can tell you that labor has, the cost of labor has definitely become an issue in terms of like exceeding the budget. Like it's always a big problem. So, yes. Keep in mind, our country did have its origins in slavery, and it did target black people even after there were, yeah, I don't need to go into that, because it bums me out. Not bumming me out as a white man, bumming me out as an American and the son of someone who immigrated to this country. While incarceration is offered up as a tool that helps us reduce drug use, there is little evidence to suggest that locking people up reduces drug consumption in the long term. In 1980, despite the significant increase in incarceration rates, studies have found no statistics. Wait, this is about America, not not Laos. I just realized. Let me just get to the point. So it sounded like we started pouring more money into the drug war in the 80s and 90s, and that increased. So then incarceration rates of American drug users. Year by year. I just need like a graph. Police make over 1 million drug possession arrests each year. Going to 2020, it did drop. So 1990, so it's almost even with sale and manufacture versus possession. Possession typically means that you are selling, and possession can also mean that you're a user. If you hold it, you know, if you find me with weed on my person, it's not because I'm selling weed, it's because I'm planning to smoke it. So after the 90s and the early 2000s, it looks like it went from 0.7 and it doubles as of 2004, dips, doubles again 2014. Okay. Just my conspiracy brain got me in this, and I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going. So maybe, well, what made me think is, like, did we go to these Asian countries, learn how they produce addictive opium chemicals, because opium ruins lives. Opiates ruin lives. And then we just stopped, you know. Why make deals with another country when you can just manufacture it yourself? Seems like the idea's plan. The CIA's idea. Golden Triangle and the scam call centers. So I got 10 minutes to just burn through this stuff. Let's start here. Laos rescues 11 Indian nationals trafficked to work as phone scammers. The King's Roman Casino is seen across the Mekong River as the Golden Triangle Special Economic Zone in northern Laos, Beko Province, January. Wait, Golden Triangle. Golden Triangle, Laos. Okay. It's a special economic zone. Oh, I see. It's a section of the river. Stepping into Southeast Asia's most conspicuous criminal enclave. And it's a giant casino. This looks badass, man. What is this? Now this is what I'm talking about. Laos, organized crime. Can I turn off the fucking AI? Let's go here. Golden Triangle Economic Zone. Casinos in the Golden Triangle. So I don't really get gambling. It's never been something for me. So this is the King's Roman Casino. I see. You know, I gotta say, this does not look nice. It just doesn't. Like, I get that it looks like a big crown, but during the day, this looks pretty, you know, obvious. Like, don't go here. This looks like Scarface's house. You know. Until you get a little bit closer, that looks AI generated. But that looks badass. That is huge. And with all the lights on, beautiful. But then there's nothing around it. Oh, shit, they went there. Oh. I mean, I gotta see this, dude.
So we've just left the Thai immigration point, had our passports stamped for exiting Thailand, and we're paying about 70 baht each just to catch the ferry across to Laos now. I think he told me it's about 40 or 50. So we've officially landed in Laos. There's one port there, but we came in the extra fancy port, this one behind us. Go. It's driving?
Casino.
Yeah.
I would like to take
Yeah, it looks pretty fancy. There's a lot of construction going on the water here. On the Laos,
Building
on
a
the
city.
this is the
They're
Mekong
cleaning the
River,
money.
isn't it?
So one of the
big
ways
one?
you can clean the money, so you create if you have a casino, a lot of casinos are used to hide organized crime revenue. You have this revenue that you need to launder. The casino makes an investment into a building, it gets built, and now it needs to have tenants. The tenants are fake tenants used that are paying exorbitant rents to then pay for... Maybe that's what's happening here in America. That makes a lot of sense, why rents are going up. Because then you extract more money from the public as well as cleaning your money faster and faster. You know, if you need to clean $1 million, like one, you know, your average apartment complex here in America can make over, like, over $250,000 a month. But if you're raking in billions, that's not fast enough. I bet it's happening a lot in Austin, Texas. With the huge migration of people there, there's going to be a higher demand for illegal substances.
Mekong River. And,
Yeah,
it looks
those look
that
like
one's in
apartments.
use.
They could be office
Restaurants on the
buildings.
Sting.
Either way, they'll need to pay rent.
Think here.
But who knows how strict the Laotian
Around Talbot's
IRS
here.
is.
Development going on
Little
here.
market. This looks very nice. They
These
seem to be
typical Thai
early.
markets.
Yeah, I've been to... This looks like when I went to
Telescopic
Mexico when
sight
I was younger.
for your guns. Okay, so they've created a beautiful sort of garden
Look how
area
clean it is.
for people. Looks like this is just
There's-
newly opened up.
There's like no one there.
I was thinking I didn't want to waste
There's
time.
no homeless
actually-
there.
I'm thinking next time I'm going to have to spend maybe 4 or 5 days here. Just showing off a bit of Laos culture. Looks like they've built a few houses where you can just go in and look around. Traditional houses, little walk, and the way the cultural stuff. Trees. So we just checked out the casino inside. This is whole river.
Oh, they can't
We
look.
go
They can't
to
show
the
us
casino
inside.
now. So this is impressive. This is the entrance level to the casino. So we just checked out the casino inside. For a moment I saw and the things they're building. Yeah? Oh, the flowers she wants photoing on, especially along the river without taking my
That is
small in.
beautiful.
Yeah. The taxes from the
But
casino
it
are
seems
funding all
so
this.
empty to me.
Or much to this section of Laos.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about this country, as in America and other. And it must be. It's obviously evident in other countries. We're so tight knit. We're so crowded into one spot. And I do rely on these travel vloggers to give me insights on these countries. So let me see what.
So we're going for a
I wanna see
walk
this
in
place
town
at night.
tonight, and we're going to show you guys the markets. So we've been to Laos this afternoon.
Golden Triangle at night. Laos. Inside. Whoa. Inside the Chinese colony in Laos, human trafficking hell. Ooh, this is not Laos. I won't be returning. Golden Triangle markets. Whoa. Transnational crime along the Mekong. Okay, okay. Do not go here.
Building your online business?
No, I'm not. Stop it. Wix. How about you make a... never mind. They could be a sponsor in the future. Who knows? This podcast is starting to take off. That song is copyrighted. Yep, they're on that same road.
A very small slice of China used to take the
Second view of the same place.
yourselves.
She just crushed that frog. Are you seeing this? She just smashed that frog.
Gives it a clean. Give it a good whack on.
Oh! Oh! Hold on, let's get it one more time. She's talking on the phone. Yeah? What am I doing? I'm murdering. What are you doing?
Up here.
Myanmar and China.
So they come here and sell their fruit and veg to them. So she comes here to and you would not see this type of situation in Laos right out the back of their markets.
What?
And you would not see it. 9 out of 10 Lao people would.
He's not really conveying what's wrong.
As I said, as I keep saying, this just does not feel like a part of Laos. Sabadi. See, they're not even understanding what I'm saying. If they were Lao people, they would be repeating it. 9 out of 10 Lao people would.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
just...
the Lao people, except for these people who are making money or who are selling their wares.
So it's kind of more like... It's like New York, where it's like they're New York. Bunch of business, bunch of international people, people passing through, people traveling for work. And then there's the culture of the people who stay there, and they're a little bit different from everyone else. I mean, New Yorkers are notorious for being very different from everyone else in America. I don't like them. I'll tell you that.
They're in other parts of Laos.
Okay, this was not as salacious as I thought.
Today
it would
on
be.
Asian Flags Diaries, I'm gonna do some things a little differently. It's not gonna be another herder Gong Tao bring you go this or that province. No, I'm gonna bring you to not one, not two, but 3 different countries in a single day. Border towns to be exact. You might be thinking, wow, border town, that means this Gong Tao video confirm freaking boring. Your mother damn boring. Let me list a few border towns that
I like this guy. This guy's cool. What's this guy's channel called? Gong Tao Help Desk.
Singaporeans are more familiar with. Then you tell me whether it's boring or not. JB, Batam, Hat Yai. Now that I have like 10% more of your attention, let's continue. This time before I go, I decided to bring my Kumantong first, cause a bit more hamji. It's 7:56 AM and we have about 4 hours left.
Thailand soil. So over there, you can see this triangle thing. That is Myanmar, and over here is Laos.
Why isn't there more stuff on the Myanmar side?
Therapy.
Dude, that's Tom Brady in a Better Health commercial right after he was just on the roast. They roasted him into therapy.
It sounds
That's
like it's helped
brutal.
you.
Yeah, very much.
Would you be
Across Laos. One thing that's open 24
Imagine getting roasted so bad you now have to do mental health commercials. That's
hours
rough.
and let the next part of the video tell you what it is. The shops are all in Chinese. The people that work here are also Chinese.
Oh.
And the main language spoken here, yep, you guessed it right. Mandarin.
Mandarin.
11号.
I almost said Chinese.
So for Laos, right?
Oh, there's that street that guy was on.
At least the Golden Triangle side, there's really nothing much to do.
This is the main attraction and the only thing that's open 24 hours. King Roman Casino.
So the other side is some Chinese thingy.
This is what
But,
they were
I
walking
think that's
through.
more active at night. So we're gonna explore the rest of Laos now.
The nature of the businesses of the shops tells you that it's really more of a night town.
There's really nothing to do over here except for
Yeah, that's what I
the
noticed as
casino.
well.
Would it be advisable to come here? For casino, okay. Other than that, I really think there's nothing here for like the general public.
A lot more
So far.
construction.
Initially, I was so eager at the name.
Also,
but
all the
when I
money's
stepped
bringing
I
in
didn't
business.
expect
If
it
you're
to be
gonna
so
bring more
grand.
people
It's
into
3
this
levels of KTV
part of the
rooms,
area.
each level being grander than the other. So let's
Wow.
go to the most basic room first. But before that, I spotted a Thai. Let's go and zoom in. The KTV rooms on the ground floors are the smallest. It's typically the size of a normal HDB living room. And they are generally not fully booked because people
I want to see the nightlife though. Like, why is it that there's no videos of the nightlife? That's a little suspicious that I can't find any footage of this place and what happens at night.
Right
Probably
up at the
because
most
cameras get smashed.
northern tip of Thailand in the province of Chiang Rai days. The immigration was super chill. ถึงแล้วก็ต้องจ่ายเงินอีกหรือเปล่าไม่เหรอแค่นั้น He had 1,000.
When times are hard,
Again, white dude. Every single one has been a white dude with his Asian wife going back
need
to
leaders.
Thailand, wherever this place is.
1,000 baht, but it was actually 1,000 ATM, which that a Chinese-owned company called King's Roman Corporation has a 99-year lease on this remote corner of the country. To be honest, this whole area doesn't really feel right, and definitely does not feel like Laos. Did not expect this.
Yeah, that's what the other guy was saying.
But this is one of the most insane buildings I've ever seen.
I mean, it's fucking epic.
And
I'm into it.
2,000 baht. 英文 sure เคย sure clear จะเปลี่ยนตั๋วเครื่องบินหรือเปล่าไม่รู้ที่ต้อง
All right. Okay. I do want to get to everything. I just at least want to touch on everything that was mentioned on Reddit, so I'm gonna jump onto that. Conspicuous criminal enclave. There we go. Millions of dollars are exchanged for cash in chips in what appears to be an open display of money laundering. Zhao Wei, the Chinese crime boss responsible for Zhao Wei. Can I find a picture of this guy? Well, she's doing great. Zhao Wei, gangster. Yeah. This guy. Casino kingpin and syndicate boss. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Drug trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering, bribery, and wildlife trafficking. I mean, yeah, I bet. You're right on the water. Of course you'd be bringing stuff in. Okay. China has moved to crack down on online scamming centers in the region, impelling in part by growing domestic concern about the number of Chinese trafficking victims lured into these operations. So this guy is not only a criminal to the Chinese, he's an international criminal. Okay. I mean, it looks nice. I can't, there's something about casinos where I'm like, dude, that looks chill. Our team witnessed separate $1 million cash transactions taking place without documentation at the cashier's desk on the casino gaming floor. They also saw those involved, likely implicated in large money laundering schemes, walk away with bundles of 100 yuan notes slung over their shoulder in duffel bags. Our team asked one young woman if she had security concerns about carrying bundles of cash worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. She said she wasn't concerned because the cash belonged to her boss and everyone knew who her boss was. Okay. Expansion at all costs. Okay. I'm backing off. King's Roman, gotcha. Ashan, what did last year join Ashan? Brunei Darussalam joined Ashan on Ashan share Laos facing rising tensions in the South Chinese Sea. Laos is a landlocked country that has taken over the rotating chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, with one of the major tasks in 2024 being to moderate the complex situation in the South China Sea. Analysts say Vientiane is likely to try its best to stay neutral and strike a compromise between the disputing parties. Laos is a reactive Ashan chair and not a proactive one, said Carlisle Thayer, a Southeast Asia specialist, noting that Laos and Myanmar were the only two Ashan members who did not submit draft codes of conduct to make up a single draft negotiating text released in 2018. Ashan and China have been negotiating a legally binding code of conduct after reaching an initial declaration of conduct of parties in South China Sea in 2002. In 2018, the regional bloc in Beijing managed to release a single draft negotiating text, or a draft agreement, but progress has been stalled. China claims the historical rights to almost 90% of South China Sea, an area roughly demarcated by the so-called 9-dash line. Other claimants, including ASEAN members Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, have rejected those claims. In 2016, International Arbitration Tribunal ruled that they had no legal bias. Okay, so intense politics. And I don't think I'm smart enough to dissect this. Gangsters and stuff, that I get. Crime? For sure. I want to talk on Nestle's corrupt, evil ass. What was Nestle's baby formula scandal in the third world countries? We estimate that Nestle's entry into LMIC formula markets caused about 212,000 infant deaths per year among mothers without clean water access to the peak of the Nestle controversy in 1981. But why? Both the UN Children's Fund and the World Health Organization advocate exclusive breastfeeding for children up to 6 months of age and continued breastfeeding and complementary feedings up until age 2. However, infant formula is not considered unsafe in developed countries. When mothers cannot breastfeed, infant formula is the only product recognized by the WHO as a safe and nutritious breast milk substitute. Furhat Soygenis, Senior Corporate Affairs Manager and spokesman for Nestle, told IRIN, but in developing countries, formula is frequently prepared in unhygienic circumstances with unsafe water and misunderstood instructions. In poor nations, formula-fed infants are 4 to 6 times more likely to die of infectious disease than breastfed babies, said Gray. The problem is not with the formula, but with the preparation, he added. Open letter is in an open letter to the company in 24th of May. The organization boycott. We won't be applying for your prize money, Nestle. Your marketing of formula milk is still jeopardizes the health of infants and children in Laos. Beginning the letter is the latest development in an ongoing battle between Nestle and the child health groups that began in 1977 and is waged across the villages and markets of developing countries such as Pakistan, Bangladesh, and now Laos. Nestle has mastered the art of marketing formula with its many forms of deceptive advertising in Laos and countries throughout the world, said the letter's co-author Leah Srower, who works in the Laos with Health Frontier. But it's not really... But what is it doing? Titled The Baby... accused Nestle for causing illness and infant deaths in poor communities. Okay. How is Nestle baby formula killing infants? I don't want to hear Nestle's response. Let's go to Reddit. This guy.
Well, this video is sponsored by War Thunder. War Thunder is a real... Just looking for something cash. How many babies would you say a company would have to kill before people would stop buying their product? To baby boom was a dream for infant formula companies. More babies meant more customers. This pesky moral dilemma, though, didn't stand in the way of Nestle, where the child is going to die because the mother's breast is given out. Mama, oh mama, the child cries. If you want your child to get well, give it Clem milk. This fear acted as a confidence trick, inhibiting the letdown reflex and causing women's milk supplies to dry up. Their baby, they'd find it incredibly difficult to restart their milk supply and essentially be hooked on the product. All Nestle needed was to get them to try a free sample. To do this, they had to get into hospitals and delivery centers and capture their customers in the first few hours after birth. Doctors and physicians were targeted. Nestle sent gifts, notepads and pens, anything the doctor would use in front of the patients that would indicate their endorsement of the product. Doctors with newborns were supplied with a year's supply of free formula so other mothers would be convinced of its superiority. Hospitals, too, were flooded with free samples so that formula could be used straight away in the event. while directing shady advertising practices at new mums is already pretty morally bad, it's the impact of the strategy where the real tragedy lies. It's true that there was nothing technically wrong with the formula, and millions of babies living in high-income countries thrived on it. The women being targeted by Nestle in the 70s, however, were not in a position to benefit from the product. In fact, they were in a position where the use of the product carried a significant risk.
So I feel kind of bad because I feel like I'm attacking Nestle for having... I'm thinking that they have like a cancerous formula, but it was the mix with dirty water.
Of death to their baby through what the doctors who witnessed it would call baby bottle disease. You see, formula works great when it's prepared with clean boiled water and given in a sterilized bottle. The West African mothers being sent home with a formula-dependent baby were cooking in a 3-sided stone kitchen. That's a campfire which uses 3 stones to support a cooking pot. There's no way they'd be lighting a fire, boiling a pot, and sterilizing a bottle every time their baby needed a feed. One study found that 80% of the bottles they examined had high levels of bacterial contamination. There was also the added issue of lack of access to clean water. Many of the communities targeted by Nestle relied on dirty surface water that housed harmful bacteria. Mixing it with the milk powder did nothing to make it any safer. Another issue was price. Nestle had no business hooking mothers who couldn't afford to buy formula. The obvious consequence is that mothers wouldn't be able to afford enough tins to get through the month, so they'd try to stretch the powder by diluting it with extra water. One 1969 study in Barbados found that 82% of mothers were stretching a 4-day supply of formula to last anywhere from 5 days to 3 weeks. Babies drinking the diluted bottles often fell into a chronic malnourished state known as marasmus.
Okay, that's all I need to know. That was a lot, and I've already done over an hour on Laos, trying to accommodate your guys' requests. So, I just want to look at the food really quick because I like the food. I might not accommodate your guys' requests next time if you guys take me over an hour. They got little pancakes. See what I mean? I want to see this stuff. This is way more fun than, dead baby. Oh, I've seen this! I thought that was a Norwegian thing. What are these called? Lao cuisine, abundant vegetables, whatever. Fuck the vegetables. Dipping sauce for every Lao dish. That looks good. What's in it? Left different kind. What's in it? Grilled eggplants, green and red chilies, tomatoes, herbs, coriander pounded into a mortar. I love that. I love eggplant. I love spices. Buffalo fat in the jiaobong. What? What is it? Buffalo fat mixed into a red chili sauce. Just buffalo fat. It's just buffalo fat? Chunks of buffalo fat. That's wild. Sticky rice, go away. Go away. Sticky rice or cow, new or jiao ji. Main staple, of course it's rice. Laos cow soy. Noodle dish. Whatever. Where are those little pancakes? Laos larb, the national dish. Delicious spicy salad. Everything mixed. Might be fish, chicken, pork, beef, buffalo, or duck. I like that they have buffalo, and I did look up the pictures of men from Laos. Look at this guy. This guy's hot as hell. Hold on. I accidentally downloaded the picture. But look at this guy. This guy's stacked, and he's got tattoos. I thought those were pants at first. What about the Laotian tattoos? That was another thing I wanted to look up. Laos tattoos. A bunch of tigers. I'm into this. This is more my speed. That expat guy was telling me to look into politics. I could really give a shit. No offense. I think those were good suggestions, but this is way cooler. Like, you got the temple with the white elephants, dragons and tigers. This is... Oh, and the American flag. Fuck yeah! And then this guy looks like he's wearing armor. Wait, where did I go? That guy looks like he's wearing armor. What's the deal with this? Like, what is all that? And he's got the little things by his waist, too. I'm into it. And you got cool... I'll have to revisit this. This country is very interesting, and it's got a lot of stuff. I feel like I could go deeper. And with the help of people from Laos, I'm going to be submitting this to Reddit. We'll see what the Laotian people think about it. Maybe I'll get some comments back. Maybe I could get someone to come on the podcast. But we'll see. Also, that made me laugh when I looked this up. It said, under the Constitution of Laos, Lao women are legally equal to Lao men. Legally? But technically. Okay. Among markets full of beautiful women, so my wife says. Lao women wearing foreign... See, this is the route that I normally go. Okay. And then Lao news, it's usually some part of, like, Laotian drama. I feel like if I were to meet a Laotian person, I wouldn't be like, oh, yes, I know about the Golden Triangle and your Civil War. I don't think they'd want to talk about that. I'd be like, yeah, I heard you could pick up women at the Hmong market. They're like, yes. And then I want to get some little tiny pancakes. All right. This was a good experiment. This has been eye-opening, taking your guys' advice. And we'll see how it goes next time. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye-bye.